given hereafter, according to the merits of everyone. Some shall be greatest, others great, others middle, others less. Page 234. Merits. The only thing we merit is to be cast off. We're all sitting around the same table. There's only one head above all heads. That's Jesus Christ. We're all the same. Some people may have less knowledge of the scriptures and of the Lord than others. So what? We are all rewarded with justification by faith. Be not high-minded. God resists the proud. We're all the same. We're all on the same level. I heard a man named Ian Paisley. He was in the upper house of the Houses of Parliament, that which we call the Lords. And oh, how he blessed himself. He said that he was going to be upon one of the great seats in heaven when he departs. Yeah, well, we know where he is now, don't we? There is no great seats in heaven, barring one, that is God. And indeed, God. We're on the same level, we're all justified, we're all the same people, all around the same table, eating the same manna from heaven. Not one of us any different. All of us are beloved individually of God. When Jesus Christ came into this world, he knew each and every one of us. Colour of our eyes, colour of the hair on our heads, length of our hair, everything, absolutely everything, because he's created us. Our ups and our downs, our journeyings, our expectations, our failures, our triumphs, he knew them all personally. And he walked with us, as it were, and fulfilled the law for us. You, an individual, me, an individual. He filled the law. He did not fill it as a group. He filled it as an individual's. That's how personal salvation is. It's not as Arminianism, that Socinian religion of popery, states. We are not a collective in that sense, and yet a collective when all said and done. But individual salvation, Christ fulfilled individual salvation for the individual person. Therefore, individually, we're all loved. Not as a mass, but individual. Arminianism says as a mass. No, individually. God loves you as much as he loves me and loves the next person. It's all an individual dealing. And may we just say, before we get back to Lacunza, where we are today is where we are today by the grace of God. Now, where we are today should be slightly further on from what we were yesterday. We live to this day, in its day, and not for tomorrow. We may prepare for tomorrow, but we're living for today. We don't live for what has happened. We take the history of that into account for today. But today is the only day that exists that we're living in. You know, we have persons very monkish, and they will say to us, oh, I wish I knew more knowledge of the Lord. Oh, Oh, keep on hitting yourself. Go on, keep on hitting yourself. Go on. I wish I had this feeling, wish I had that feeling, the other feeling. And they go on and on and on. And then as they're going on, they're chastising themselves, they're beating themselves. Oh, you know, and you're looking back in history and you're seeing this fella, this poor fella, you know, he's ever so humble. And he's going into this monastery and he's whipping himself and he's starving himself and he's unworthy and oh this, that and the other, oh me. And one day, having talked to Melanchthon, this man, this monk, receives an act of God. And it all goes away. Martin Luther came into the light. And he never ever said after that, where's my hair shirt? Let's have a go at myself. Only papists do that. Arminians express it. There's hundreds and hundreds and thousands of Arminians go around beating themselves. Look at me, I need more faith, I need more this, I'm this, I'm... Yeah, right, okay. There's a monastery down the road, go and join it. Yes, we're not worthy of where we are. We do fail, we acknowledge that. We are the offspring of all things to the world. There's no worth in us. But do we go round with a hair shirt beating ourselves? No. Because that would be disparaging to God. True piety towards God is a dealing with God with the heart, with the presence of God in your life for you. Not going around boasting to everybody, look at me, I need more this, more that. That's popery. That's popery. That is not the spirit of a child of God. It's the spirit of popery. Okay, and as we say, there are no rewards hereafter. No. Dear me. Yeah. Oh man, that's a joke within itself. Eh? Oh dear. And of course with Lacunza, the heaven that we are going to, it's confusing with Lacunza because he says that Christians are saved, but really Jews after the flesh are saved. He says about heaven, salvation, okay, a new heaven and a new earth. Chapter 21 of the book of the Revelation. Of course, he's keeping it in context with what he says about the book of the Revelation of Jesus Christ, that it is future. And so what John sees here is future in chapter 21 of the book of the Revelation. And I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth were passed away, and there was no more sea. Okay? There he says, you see. Oh, a bit of limbus patrum there, isn't there? Eh? So you're going to say that people like the Jews are going to be resurrected from the grave. That is the first resurrection, is it? For you? Eh? Up you come. Where's the second resurrection then, if that's the first? Because by saying it's the first resurrection, it implies there's a second resurrection. Anyhow, he says there's going to be no body in heaven, a holy heaven, that is going to be on earth. Well, that's what the Jews teach in their monotheism. That the physical earth and the physical sky shall remain eternally, and that it will be an eternal reign of peace. But then again, you see, That eternal reign of peace shall be smashed after 1,000 years, and it just gets more and more ridiculous from their kingdom, you know. Because, as Lacunza says, the reign of Christ shall be upon earth, the paradise shall be upon earth, there's nobody in heaven. The Jews accept this and teach that all the Jews of the past shall arise in the first resurrection, live upon earth for eternity, never age, never die. Okay. But Lacunza then, of course, when he comes along, he alters it. He says you can have 1,000 years. Well, there's no 1,000 years in the former testament, is there? To have 1,000 years, you would have to have the New Testament inside the former testament. You can't do it. In a literal sense. Spiritually it's there. But in a literal sense you can't have it. 1,000 years belongs to a different dispensation. The New Testament dispensation. You can't add it to the Old. Because it doesn't belong to the Old. To add the 1,000 years to the Old is adding all of the New to the Old. Which then makes the Old new. So you can't get away with it. Oh, but, you know, by guile, these people seek to get away with it. And what have we got today? We've got the New Testament takes place of the Old Testament. So, again, you take the 1,000 years out of the New Testament, you've got to take the rest of the New Testament with it, which makes the Old Testament the New Testament. That which we're standing in today. Eh? Absolutely crazed. And of course Lacunza teaches equally that all the redeemed, you try and work this out, all the redeemed one day shall be taken secretly out of the world. That not all the world shall hear Christ's voice in that day. And that the saved will go back with Christ whilst the world lives on. So woman, there's no saints in heaven. Next month, the saints in heaven. There is this great secret rapture of the saints. Have you heard that before? And he quotes 1 Thessalonians 4:14-7 in his book, page 195. Okay. So the redeemed shall be secretly taken out of the world. We are only in this world to obtain glorified bodies. That's what the Christian is in this world for. And to depart with these glorified bodies. That's why we're here. But this man doesn't know. Neither do his followers, the Arminians. You see, we came out of the Lamb's Book of Life. We had no body. We had no knowledge of our existence. Again, in the Lamb's Book of Life means that we're in the lively thoughts of God within justification. We came into this world. We died in Adam. Okay. So why did we come into this world? What was the purpose? Even as Christ, the forerunner, came into this world for a purpose. Two purposes. One to seal up justification by faith, because he was the surety for justification by faith, by an act of God, for those in the Lamb's Book of Life, and to obtain a glorified body, and we follow him. We have the justification that he procured, sealed for us. When we say procured, we mean sealed. Procured by fulfilling the law, of which he would fulfill the law, because he is God. He is perfect man. And of course we follow him in having glorified bodies and return home. We return to Zion with songs and everlasting joy upon our heads. There is no secret rapture. If there was a secret rapture, the world would end. The world is only here by the permission of God, sanctioned of God, that we, the special people of God, should pass through. This entire world, this entire setup is a temporary stage for us and us alone. We. Yeah, we. Not politicians. Not great governments. No, we. The offscouring of all things. We. We're the ones that this world is created for. You never thought about that. The world was created for us. And through us, God obtains glory unto glory. This world is passing. This world is buggable. This world is nothing. Absolutely nothing. It's we that are passing through that mean something to this world. If we are taken out, the light's taken out, because we are the light in the Lord, the entire world becomes darkness, the entire world becomes a Sodom and Gomorrah, and it is burnt up. We shall not be here when Christ comes a second time. In a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, we shall be gone. And the world burnt up. When the last child of God, Israelite of God, because we are the Israelites again, is brought in, at some stage, it'll end. Gog and Magog, he says. Shall we seek to draw to a close on this? Gog and Magog. He says, after fire falls upon Gog and Magog, whereby are comprehended the east and the west, with all those who line up upon the earth. Right, he says, Gog and Magog are east and west. What about north and south, bud? With all those that live upon the earth. Okay. Page 201. Well, Gog and Magog is the spiritual, and we note spiritual. It's in the context of being spiritual. Secular society and secular political society. The spirit behind both. A mass against the camp of the saints. And then fire. And of course against Jerusalem herself. Okay. Chapter 20. Okay. Verse 9, and they went up on the breadth of the earth and compassed the camp of the saints about and the beloved city, and fire came down from God out of heaven and devoured them. That's Gog and Magog, that's the human race. The politicised human race. Keep an eye on the signs of the times. Here, Lacunza quite naturally misinforms us as to the meaning of Gog and Magog. Gog and Magog, as we say, is the political side of the world. Now, Gog comes first, notice, because that is the natural man. Political natural man. And then Magog. So, natural man has separated the group up and signifies they've done so by adding Magog. So we have political society and political government, which is a society in itself. Now, what is happening is that they are encamping against the saints of God. They're coming against us and against Jerusalem that is above. Okay, coming against all that is perfect and pure and holy before God. By their presence, and their presence is felt by their speech. So, there is a restriction of righteous speaking by the forces coming against. This is what it means. We need to be, says the world, politically correct. Society says we need to be politically correct because government is politically correct. And we say no. And they're pushing in on us and pushing in on us and surrounding us on all sides. If we say this, they say that. If we say the other, they say this. And so on and so on and so on.